Hello, 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 hello. I'll make sure I got the bot going. Oh, make sure
We
this thing kicks in.
we have Al Bundy, Nate Damper, Miss Dana B. I thought it'd be Charmin. Thought I saw, yep, shift kicker, nose picking,
I was down to talk to my doctor about Rybelsus.
and a loud ass microphone speaker in the room tonight so far.
Hey,
Chicken Noodle Girl.
little lone prepper, Ragnar. How's it going? Good to see everybody out tonight. The chilly night. As you can tell, I got my jacket on.
He says it's cold. He says it's 24 degrees up there where he's at. That ain't cold.
Hey,
You got your sunscreen on?
Huh?
Do you have your sunscreen on with them hot
Don't need it
temperatures?
inside.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's one of them days. It's just wet.
yeah.
We got a good mist going now. Keep your wipers on low going down the road. And they calling for rain all the way up to Thursday.
Yeah, rain would be nice. We've got snow all over the place. And what's worse, it rained, then snowed, then rained, then snowed.
Yeah.
So it's slickery out.
Well, see, I'm wanting to get out there and till up my garden. And I can't do that in the rain. Well, I could, but I hate cold rain. And, I'd end up with mud instead of dirt.
Oh, yeah, this really interesting thing I just come across. Huntington Park, California. Police officer shoot dead. Not going to give his name or anything, but he's a double amputee who tried to run away from them on his stumps of his legs.
How?
Cops said they were afraid he would throw the knife he had at them. I'm not going to watch the video or anything like that. And that's normal. We're going to start seeing all this stuff like this because everybody knows what's going on in Tennessee and whatnot. But this stuff is going to start coming out quite a bit.
Not making no pun of what you said, but what's going on in Tennessee? Refresh my memory.
Really? It's all you hear about now.
Okay, never mind. I know what it is now.
Yeah, it's all over the old talk shows and.
Oh, please. Don't even start with the talk shows.
Yeah.
I told you what I thought about that thing this morning.
Yeah.
But it. Shit. Do you know it just now exactly hit me what happened in Tennessee? And when you said it was all over the TV and everything, I was totally thinking about something else. Well, now you got to excuse me a little bit, okay? I jumped out of bed from my pre-nap for my bedtime tonight, and I cooked manwich, and I'm awake. My
Oh,
eyes
look,
are
it's
open,
Shift
but I'm not.
Kicker, the one and only robot that will kick your butt.
Well, Chef Kicker, I need mine kicked right about now so I can get woke up.
Yeah, Vester, I know what you mean, but you don't have to watch the TV. Everywhere you go, you hear about it. Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Everybody has their different opinions on uh whatever, one side or the other, or no sides, or and
You're
then
going to hear about it.
one person says something that's in the media or a talk show or whatever, and then it gets spread all over the place because she said something that was bad, but she doesn't get in trouble for it.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Miss
It's just
Sassy Cat.
it's just so easy for stuff to get out now that you don't. And if you're scrolling by like a channels or something, it's all plastered everywhere. Oh, watch this, you know.
News media has done took it to a
Oh
whole
yeah,
new level. You know, it.
and
I'm going to leave it alone at that.
that's one of the major things right there is when you're scrolling through, not even looking at the channels, but the little advertising for it, or
Yep.
even the newspapers or magazines or whatever the case may be. It's not so and so was shot. It was who shot them, or what race they were, and what race got shot. It's not if it was that person or another person. It's the main thing is the race of the person.
I'm kind of like this. When somebody gets shot, that's the last thing I look at is what race they're in. You know, I want to see exactly what happened to that person. I know they're going to tell me what race they was. You know, so forth like that. It's
And that's the thing that everybody runs with is like the race part of it.
it's like the news media is wanting the people to rise up against one another. I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
they want division because it sells.
Yeah, it
Just
does.
like violence sells, and um, well, look at YouTube. Everywhere you see is Russia's doing this and nuclear war and whatever, World War III in their titles and whatnot.
Yeah. But it,
And they talk about the bad thing, but like tonight's subject is about EMPs. It's not about the EMP. It's about what's going to happen afterwards and how we can get through it.
hello,
Not
Connie.
talking about who's doing it or where it's coming from or whatnot, because there are tons of reports right now of that's the first wave that if someone was to do something, it would be an EMP.
Well, the
And then
reason for
they would just sit back and let us do our own thing, which would be implode on ourselves.
yeah, we would kill off ourselves quicker than an army would
Oh
come
yeah.
in and do it. You
I
know,
mean, we can't even agree on
what sex you want to be.
yeah. Well, am I using the right pronoun? And when you have to introduce yourself as what you
He,
want to be called. Do I want to be called a he, or do I want to be called a them or they? What makes the difference?
I thought we were going to talk
You
about EMP.
forgot
Yeah.
all about what you're talking about and what it is I feel like I am.
It takes you 20 minutes to do the pronouns. By then, I'm sick and tired of listening to your voice. I'm gone.
Yeah, that thing I brought up on 101s that time about that the Democrats something other party thing. It took them 3
Oh.
days to vote on somebody to replace somebody that was released. Or no, they didn't know if they wanted to release cabinet members or something like that. So they had to vote if they wanted to get rid of them or have somebody replace them. It took them 3 days to figure that out. It's crazy. Oh, hi.
Well, Mountain Lake says she identifies as a fairy. I identify as two things: a male asshole. Plain simple. I am a male 24/7 and will be to the day I die. And depending on your attitude, will determine what my attitude will be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and was kind of touching on it this morning, because they're and this all determines if and when something like this would happen. The first 30 days, we would lose 90% of the population in the United States. That is a big number.
Well, hell, if 90% of the people perish, and I'll use that term, it's going to be so easy for the other people to kind of, let's say, survive in a matter of speaking.
Yeah,
because
the thing is, what
type
well,
of people?
maybe that first, like I said, the 90% of the population, you have a lot of people just laying about. It's not going to be a pretty thing, and it's going to be very toxic, kind of. You know what I mean by as in. Because there's not going to be somebody coming around just burying everybody. They're just going to be laying out, and you're going to go into a house, and it's going to be very bad smelling.
Yeah.
And like I said, it all depends what time of year something like this would happen determines how fast the population would go down.
Well, now, what I got to say this. Little Lone Prepper says, I identify as a millionaire. I need them to adjust my bank account accordingly. Now, the other thing I want to ask is this right here. If we have an EMP, would that cause, let's say, like a nuclear winter, like a bomb would do, or not?
Well, there's a theory behind, and I have a short that I was already going to put out, but I didn't want to bombard everybody with a bunch of stuff in their feed about my stuff coming around this week, because it's a very busy week.
Mm.
And there's certain stages, and I guess I can do the stages now. The first thing, if it hit, the first stage right after an EMP hit would be confusion, because everybody be trying to get a hold of somebody, trying to figure out what it was, because all of a sudden you have no power, no cell phone, no way to contact anybody, no radio, nothing. So everybody's really confused. And then the second stage would be panic and looting. Once the confusion wears off, then people go into panic mode, and they're going to be out there. Oh, I need food, because majority of the population doesn't prepare. So the grocery stores and all that, they're after that stuff. The third stage is where all the food is gone, food shortages. There's no production of food. There's not people uh, bringing meat to the market or anything like that, or whatnot. And then that's when things start going downhill majorly from there. And then the next stage would be, there goes the water, because the treatment plant's been running, if their generators work, running off of generator power. And it's not like you can go to the gas station, pump out gasoline, because it's 20, 30 feet underground that has to be pumped up. And if you don't have a way to pump that fuel out, then there goes your water and sewer. Which is very bad. And then the next stage is, which is in the same time period, which is hospitals. Hospitals are shut down. They're not, the government's not over there protecting the hospitals, and there's so many people. There would be people on the lawns of the hospital trying to get help. And then there's the massive amount of death, because it's going to be all over the place. You're going to walk down the streets, and you'll see it wherever you walk. And then that's where you see bad things happening. Oh, this person's got a backpack and doesn't carry anything to protect them. That's an easy target. And that's pretty much the lowdown of it.
I'll be in there in a minute. I forgot I had to do something.
But you sit there and think of all the movies that you see. They don't a lot of the movies don't show the gruesome part of how it would be. What was it? Katrina, when they would have news feeds and stuff of them floating down the rivers and stuff, looking for people. And every once in a while you would see the dead bodies floating and whatnot. And that would be the normal. And just the massive smells, and I'm assuming a lot of that you wouldn't want to inhale any of that stuff, because not only just the bad smells, but it's probably won't be too healthy for you. Put it that way.
Well, now something else you are not talking about, and I don't think anyone else is. It's gross, but it's going to be the truth. You're going to have vultures doing what they do, also.
Oh
What's
yeah.
you know, and that will not be a pretty sight to see. But
Oh yeah.
it's going to happen, and it. I really don't know how to go about this because I've never really brought it up or looked into it. Normally, let's say if a cow perishes or a deer, it takes what, 24 hours to pick one clean? Excuse me, to pick one clean?
Well, I
But,
wouldn't say clean, but
well,
before it gets ripe enough to where everything comes down to get it.
yeah, you're right. And in order for a vulture to come down, it's going to have to be laid out there a while and start smelling.
Yeah.
And it's a possibility. It may be a damn good possibility. I could have a family member myself out there, or even me out there. But if it's me, I don't care no more. You
Yeah.
know, it's like it's just there's a bunch of factors to be played in this.
Yeah, and that's what because with movies and stuff, you watch movies where uh, survival things come up and whatnot, but the fact that you don't every once in a while they'll show something, uh, but it'll be just one or two. Like you go in a house and you'll smell and there'll be somebody sitting in a corner that had passed.
Yeah,
Um, that first 30 days, and this is well documented that 90% of the population wouldn't make it the 30 days. And there's lots of things that factor into that. Um, you're going to have those ones that um, their whole life is on this thing. They don't cook meals. It gets delivered to them. They don't go shopping because it gets delivered to them. They stay in their houses and they have electricity and all that stuff. That first week, there's going to be people jumping from high places to end things because they can't handle it.
can't cope with
They're
it.
starving to death and they don't know what to do. They don't have any food in their house because there's nobody to call to bring them food. So you're going to have a massive amount of that happening.
Yeah, but like Wall Street, what happened to them?
Yeah, and then there's people that have to deal with all that all over the place in cities and small towns and whatnot. Um, sure, there may be people out there that try to organize this and that to try to make it an easy transition or whatever. They'll eventually there may be places that will burn. There'll be big piles of places where they'll burn the bodies because it's unsanitary for a bunch of bodies to be laying around.
It is diseases and everything. Hello, Art Wildman. Uh, the cities, it's going to be the worst out of all of them.
Oh yeah, because
You-
and then uh you're gonna have gangs that are going to run certain areas of that city, and they're going to take anything they want.
Yeah. It, I mean, if you think they bad now, just wait.
Yeah. And this is nothing to it's scary to think about it, but it's not that it's like, oh no, we're doomed, might as well give up and stuff. That's why we have these channels and stuff like that, why we learn stuff, why we have books and things, so we prepare. And that's the thing, is to prepare for that stuff. And even if you do prepare, there's gonna be a high percentage of people that are so-called preppers, and it'll be too much on them, or it doesn't make any difference. You could be the most prepared prepper out there, and then it doesn't make any difference. When
Well,
something bad happens, it's bad.
well, it comes down to what you have said. You know, you can be prepared for practically anything, but if you're not mentally prepared, that's it.
Mhm.
You're gonna go downhill quick.
Yep. Um, I was watching a um for it wasn't, it was like an end of the world type thing, but it wasn't as bad. It was like years of after whatever it was that happened, and he was in a building looking around to find something, and um he got a splinter, just a normal splinter, but he kept on going. It was well known that they made sure, oh, dang, splinter, and he's trying to dig it out and whatnot, and then he kept on going. Um, Ended up, that's what done him in, was a splinter. He ended up getting infected and then died from that. Just a splinter. And that's the very sad part of that is a splinter. And this guy survived the first wave, second wave, and all this other stuff, and just a little splinter done him in.
Yeah. A knife with a good point, tweezers, like that.
Well, the fact that you got to know that, um, like now, if you cut yourself and it gets infected, then you got ointment to put on it, or gets real bad, you just go to the hospital and get antibiotics to clear up the infection. But if that's not there, if there's no doctor around, that just a little infection can kill you.
Hello, Eric.
And just like if we talk about EMPs, there's so many different scenarios of what's protected. Well, let's go with the vehicles. There's some say that anything under 73, anything under 75, anything that had points are fine, and anything that doesn't, they don't know. That's the whole thing. They don't know how one thing will survive where another thing won't. Solar panels. They said, well, it won't affect solar panels. The thing is, if there is an a little volt of power coming through a solar panel, it will affect it. Anything that has any power in it, or any the smallest volt going through a wire, it could fry that. How much, they still don't know, because it's nothing. It's not like we can go, well, let's set up this town and let off an EMP and see what survives out of it, because they've never done that. They do small scales of it, and they can have scientists speculate how much power it would take to blow a transformer or a circuit or whatever, and it's all, they don't know. And that's the whole not knowing part of it. And there's people say, well, you can put all your stuff in a microwave, you can test it, put your phone in your microwave, and then try calling your phone. If your phone rings, then it won't work. If you don't get no signal in there, it won't work. Or if you call it and it doesn't ring, oh, your stuff is safe. The thing is, they don't know that, because how much power will a microwave block before it's too much?
You know, with our government doing everything behind our backs and so forth, it's a wonder they hadn't built a town somewhere out in the desert and done tried this.
Well, they haven't, and not because certain bombs will emit a natural EMP from it, and they've tested it from that, but they still don't know. There's too many variables to figure out what circuit board can withstand what percentage of an EMP and stuff like that. And that's the thing. You can go to the government websites and find out about what's safe and what's not safe, and how you can make a Faraday cage out of a metal trash can. But the thing is, and you can buy bags to put your cell phones in and this and that, but they don't know. They're just speculating that bag will keep that stuff safe. And for me, if it's not 100% that, say, the microwave bit would work to save my flashlights or a walkie-talkie or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
If it's not 100%, my thinking is nothing electronical is safe. So my plan is that if an EMP went off, nothing that I own that has chips in it or whatever, be it a flashlight, would survive. So you prepare from there on. So what other ways do I have to light up my house? Which would be candles.
I wonder, you know, like the batteries you put in electronics and so forth, like that, would they be impacted from
Yeah.
this?
Anything that has a current going through it. See, what an EMP does when it goes off, anything that has a volt or any power at all, it intensifies it. It basically blows out that circuit. It's
Okay.
like your house is run on 110. It's like flipping a switch and going like 10 times, 1,000 times more power through that house. Your light bulbs, your TVs, and everything's just going to fry out at one big old boof. And whatever can't handle that current would be safe, but who knows how much power that EMP will generate, because when it goes off, a lot of scientists think that the more power there is out there, the more it intensifies. So it's almost like a boom, and it spreads from there.
Well, now, I can understand a couple of things. Number one is during the EMP, all your towers is going to get fried, period. No radio stations, no communication stations.
Yeah.
Now, my question is this right here. If you have a hand cranked, I'm going to say radio, whatever, with a flashlight, but it's dead as all get out at the time, can you crank it just to get light to come on?
Yeah, by theory, yeah. And that's the thing. It's an unknown thing. Because if you have one of those crank ones, they automatically have batteries in them that
Right.
when you crank it, it charges it up.
Right.
So if it's dead, there would be no power going through it. Hence, it might work. And that's the thing. If there's people out there that knows how to work on that stuff, you would go around trying to find transformers and diodes and all that thing, trying to fix this stuff, and then get it to working. There was War of the Worlds, I think it was, with the Tom Cruise one, where all these aliens coming out of the ground and they were setting off EMPs.
The Tomorrow War.
And there's a guy at the gas station was working on something, and he told, when Tom Cruise was running by, he says, change the solenoid. And then he ran down the road, and on this way back, he told the kids to get everything, and he got into the van because he said he changed it, and he starts it up and it works. The only car, which I know it's a movie, but everybody knows that car, the solenoid is built into the voltage regulator. I think it was either a solenoid or voltage regulator. I think it was a voltage regulator. Well, anyways, it's built into the alternator. So you can't, unless it's like probably a early 70s, when they had voltage regulator was a little box sitting on the side of the frame.
Firewall.
Yeah, firewall. Because nowadays they're all built into the alternator, and the solenoids are built into the distributor, and all kinds of stuff. There's things that are built into the starter now instead of off to the side.
Well, now I think the movie you talking about is War of the World.
Yeah, that's what I said. War of Worlds. The Tom Cruise one, not the real old one, but
yeah.
And that's the thing. It's for those who actually have knowledge of working on cars. Know that wasn't going to work.
Well,
because the fact is that the battery itself would have fried. The car was knew enough, it had a computer, it would have fried the computer. Because I've been on Reddit when they were talking about this whole subject, and there was thousands of conversations about just that vehicle. There were so many experts in there talking about it, and they were, well, he had all this stuff taken out. He was working on it, so it would have worked. And there was another person saying, no, it wouldn't work because it had a computer. There's so many conversations just about that, and that's the thing. There's so many people talking about how, like, Faraday cages, how they would work. They sell these little envelopes things that you can put your cell phone in that protect it. The fact is, they don't know because they haven't set off an EMP next to a cell phone in a Faraday cage to see if it would protect it, because you can't. You can only speculate how it would work, and that's the main scientist that will tell you this is it's something that we don't know because you can't study for it. You can't test on it because there's no way to test on something that the only way to test it is to destroy the grid completely, because now we know, but it's too late now, so that they're not going to test it because you don't know how much power an EMP will generate and how much more from that EMP will boost everything that's electrical, and it just generates more and more power as it goes until it hits a wall, basically. Now, it doesn't hurt to try to prepare for these things, but
Come on.
to me, I would rather prepare for not having that thing instead of relying on that thing.
I think right now we are in that stage. What if and when?
Mhm.
I think that's where we at. We know something's coming. We don't know when, for one thing. And I think that scares more people than anything else.
Yeah, and there's a good question right there. And this is something that this is another thing is once
Dang it.
one goes off, um, there's called discharge, where that energy, because every energy has to have a place for it to go. So say it goes off, and then you're okay. I opened up my Faraday cage and I've got my ham radio, and I'm, hello, anybody out there? And then all of a sudden you get a discharge from Earth where it emits it back out again, and then you just fried your ham radio, so it's dead anyway.
Well, I know everything that's being talked about is on theory and everything,
Mhm.
but discharge. How long would the Earth discharge up to where it would be safe?
That's the thing, and there's theory that if, say, an EMP was set off, um, multiple ones, uh, in the United States, where it wiped out the whole grid, um, where it discharged into Earth, it could go out the other side and take out the whole. In theory, it could, um, wipe out the whole planet of all, um, anything with a circuit or anything like that.
So
Because there,
if
like I said, there is a theory that with all that massive energy, that it has to discharge somewhere. So the Earth would discharge it all together in all different directions.
well, like you said, biggest part of this is in theory. We
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, and that's the thing. They have so many different theories on it, and there's it's just like politics. They fight.
Hey,
They get in arguments and fight about it. In forums and message boards, like I said, and Reddit. It's like politics.
well,
One
now,
person has a theory in it, and they're stuck in their mind that, oh yes, this theory is it, and there's somebody that will actually prove their theory is wrong, and they have their own theory, and then it goes and goes and goes.
well, my
But
theory is this right here, and I've seen it in chat. People's got oil lamps and so forth like that. That's fine. That lasts for a pretty good while. But what you gonna do when the oil runs out? You know,
well,
what you gonna
you
do when
process your own oil
yeah?
from animals and stuff.
But what you gonna do when candle wicks is gone? You know, you can make them, but dang, I don't think they would last as long. In other words,
Oh
everything's gonna run out and it's gonna run short.
yeah, that's where you prepare for that stuff. Um,
Exactly.
you have books that, because before all this stuff in the 1800s, people lived fine. It was rough, but they survived, or we wouldn't be here now.
Well, that's true.
And
But
that's
now, how many people do you know, or how many people in chat knows of people who can live? And I'm not talking about the Amish, so let's knock that out of the ballpark real quick. That people like that today, you know, who is used to all this, can survive in a situation like that.
well, even the Amish, there's very, very, very little hardcore Amish left. Nowadays, they go to the grocery store on Wednesday and they bring home truckloads of
Animals,
modern stuff.
yeah, you know, I mean, but I will about bet you this right here. Amish, and I cannot think of the Mennonites. The Amish and the Mennonites would be the ones to survive this a lot quicker than anyone else could or
Okay,
can,
okay, let me ask you why.
because they are used to growing everything at home. They know how to can this.
Not
Okay, well,
that's not the main reason.
okay,
And
tell me.
I hate to say this because there are a lot of lone wolves out there, but the Amish they're already set up in their own community, and that's how they
Okay,
live in that way, and they live that way now. So it's a lot easier for that group to live and provide for everybody in that community than it would be for, let's say, these run of the mill mags, because I have yet to find anything that would resemble something survivable as a mag, because I've said this story before about being interviewed basically for one, and one of the things this guy worried about mostly was me hooking up with his wife right off the bat before anything. The more important stuff was, because that's one of the things he says, well, more than likely you won't be admitted because you're single. We can't have a single man in our mag because they'll be too worried about their wives. I'm like, well, I don't want to be in that mag anyway. If that's the thing you're worried about.
Well, now you got maybe what I want to say needs to be said in the back instead of up on here, so
Yeah.
it don't give a lot of people ideas. So I'm gonna try to get away from that for the time being.
And that's there's a lot of stuff to be thought about, like in Amish in a community. When even now, if one does something in that really bad, and what they do, they shun them, so they have to leave that community, and that's now. So that's the same thing, say in a mag, if somebody did something bad, there's a whole conversation. We've been down this about how do you deal with like somebody stealing in your mag. How do you deal with it? There's a few ways you can deal with it, and how do you go about dealing with that stuff? If you tell them, you shun them away, you're out, you're not allowed in this community. Well, that person has a lot of knowledge of your community. Do you let that person leave your community breathing? There's a lot to think about when it comes.
That would be up to the individual mag how they would deal with it.
Yeah.
And I know how 80 or 90% of the mags would deal with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They say they would, that's how they would handle it. But the fact is, they're not in that predicament at that time.
You're right.
After, like they say, shit hits the fan, a lot of stuff changes. It's just not like, oh, we're talking about it here now, but after it happens, a lot of things change.
Well, my whole life I've heard this phrase right here. I cannot stand a thief or a liar, because normally if a person is one, he's going to be the other. I've sat there and I've thought about that a lot. I could deal with a liar a hell of a lot quicker than I could a thief. My reason is this right here. Every time a liar opens up his mouth, he's lying. But a thief, you don't know if he's scoping you out, what he's going to steal, or anything else. So, like I said, my opinion, I can deal with a liar a lot better than I can a thief.
The thing is, it's the same thing though. A thief and a liar are the same thing, because when you lie, you're stealing the truth. So to me, a liar and a thief are just as bad as each one.
Do you know what the worst sin is according to God?
Taking a life, isn't it?
No, believe it or not, no. Okay. Keep that in mind. Is a liar. Okay. With a lie, you can kill a person many times, but if you take a life, you only kill them once.
Well, isn't the one that my brain just went that
you talking about the one
that turned it back on God? Isn't that the worst one? And that's the thing. How do you determine which one's the worst sin?
Well, okay. I was fixing to
Yeah,
say something, but I
that's what I was
cannot
trying to get
prove it.
at. To me, that would be the worst one right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be the worst one, because I've heard people say, "Well, we have 10 commandments, one being the worst, or 10 would be the worst." There's so many. Yeah, to me, I think that would be the one where is that when I can't remember their names right now, but when he turned his back on God.
I know who you're talking about, the one that sold him out for 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah,
He was a disciple.
yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
It's
But
right there. And I'm waiting for somebody to say it in chat so I can see it.
yeah, but
um,
I said it this morning in the back room.
there it is.
Judas. But
I don't know why I kept thinking Jake or Jacob or something. I know I had the J, but I couldn't get the rest out.
but that's the way I think. And unless I'm proven wrong, that's the way I will think. Just like everybody else is in here saying the knowledge of God, which that is a sin. That, in my opinion, that is a big sin. Uh, so forth. And I'm going, God Almighty, I'm going to have to go back to the Bible and read, because somewhere along the line, it seemed like to me God said that to him, the worst one was a liar. And I cannot prove that or nothing right now at this moment.
Yeah, there's a
But,
good one. All sin
yeah,
is
all
bad.
sin is bad. Sin is sin.
Yeah,
But
trying to say which one is worse, it's still the same thing. It's bad.
it is.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I brought that up.
and
No.
and we all do it. That's the thing. Not
Oh yeah,
not the bad stuff, but the sin part. And there's some that think that they don't. And if you're living down here with the rest of us, you do.
you have sinned.
Yep.
Regardless. And a person at our age, there's no way you can tell me you've not lied
Oh yeah.
or have stolen something. Everybody has, whether it be you stole time or whatever.
Oh, honey, you look really good in that dress.
That's a trick question. That question is loaded. Honey, do you think this dress makes my body look fat? No, your body makes that dress, makes your body look fat. What do you think is going to happen if a husband tells his wife that? Right. That's a trick question. And she's going to be standing there with a rolling pin in one hand, a frying pan in the other hand. Now, Dad, you look fine in that dress. You look good. I'd put you on the back of a motorcycle. Pump up the tires a little bit more.
Yeah. And that's
And Ginger Ninja just nailed it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You're right. Right there, 100%.
yeah. And it's a shame too much today is too much on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you get to know, and like I know, I'm going to bring up 101 here, but talking about wanting to get to know people and stuff like that, it's too easy now to pick up a phone and just do a fling real quick and not know somebody, but when you're young, that's one thing, but when you start getting older and uh, I don't know if it's wiser or whatever.
Well, now I saw a picture of a woman back before she got married and everything. You know, she was skinny. She was good looking and everything. And she took picture through the ages. She done had children. She done got old, everything like that. Her body was not what it was when she was smaller. Damn, when she was younger. Okay. A woman's body goes through more changes than a man's body
Oh
does.
yeah,
You know, they give birth and
yeah.
everything.
Just their back alone. They'll show pictures of their back, and it actually goes and does this wicked old little curve, so
Yeah.
it has a way to cradle the body or the weight of the baby, or and their hips move out and all kinds of stuff. It's wicked.
Well, for two things, and it's took me quite a few years to figure this out. But what I think what grabs my attention the most is this right here. A heavier set person has got a better personality. They're more uh, easy to get along with. They are.
It
I
depends
don't
on
want
the
to say it.
person.
Well,
That's the thing. It's
I'm going to
if
say the
if
ones that
they're comfortable in their skin, then yeah. But if they're not, so worried about what everybody else thinks and stuff like that, then I would say not. Because there are those out there that um what was that?
and their personality. You know, to me, they've got to have a damn good personality.
Oh, he said Tinder. Sorry, what life? That's one of the words Bushbot doesn't like. 'Cause it's not you. It's because there are bots that come
Yeah.
in that have the word Tinder in it. So he give you a warning.
Who said that? Who said that? Charles, you're right. A lot of them that are Karens,
Yeah,
are kids, because it's the way other people has treated them coming up in life. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. That's why I said if they're not comfortable with themselves, which hardly anybody is, unless less they've experienced it through their life. And
no, no, no. Wait a minute. I got to make an apology real quick. I'm already getting my ass jumped. Okay. I don't care what a person's size is. They can be a size -3 if you got a good personality.
-3, what the heck is that?
Well, you ain't never seen where their waist size is a 0 or
Yeah,
something like that. Okay.
0, but I've never seen a
But
minus.
look, I'm just using that as an example, trying to
Oh,
be a
okay.
smart ass.
I was
Okay.
gonna
I'm
say, did
not
they come
getting
up with a new
but
skinnier than a 0?
yeah. But as long as you got a good personality, I don't give a damn what you look like.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got Mr. Trouble himself wanting to come up. Let him up. Oh, damn it. It ain't my link. I can't put his ass in the back room tonight. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't he put you in the back room the other night?
Yeah, I was the first one in the back room. I was like, what?
Come on up, 101. He got a surprise for you.
Hey, 101.
Hello. What did I walk into? Dare I ask? Jeff sounds like he's got something up his sleeve. I don't like it.
Well, see, I can't do nothing on this channel. Okay. So for me, you're safe.
I don't like that laughter at the end, Jeff. Anyway, what is the what's going on?
Well, we kind of jumping all over, but started with the being prepared for EMPs because they have been. There's a lot of experts out there saying that it's a possibility that
Experts.
this could be coming off really soon.
Well,
And that's because there's so many resources here in the United States. That would be the easiest way to take it.
well, all I gotta say is, if it does happen, it was nice knowing y'all.
Yeah, because they said in 30 days, 90% of the population wouldn't make it. In 30 days.
30 days. Try
Yeah,
a week.
30 days.
In a
I
week.
think in a week it would be about 45%.
Oh
Easily.
yeah. Well, a lot of the younger ones.
Would
It's
be the
just
first.
The young and
Yeah.
stupid.
well, look at the people because this water thing.
What water thing?
You got
Bottled
3 days or you're dead.
Oh,
So you figure 3 days. There's a lot of people that the only water they've ever seen comes out of their faucet.
if that.
Yeah.
What Life was timed out by Bushcraft for 600 seconds.
Yeah, I just said that a little bit ago because he used the word Tinder. It's
Let
a
me think.
naughty word.
It is?
Well, because there's so many, the bots that come in, they use,
Oh, those things.
yeah.
I thought you meant like fire tinder.
No, it's just to keep a lot of the bots out of here. I put words in there that they use a lot.
I see.
That way, when they come in, they try to post something and they get blocked before they even say anything.
Smart.
Because I've actually noticed my blocked my ban list or whatever you want to call it has grown since I put that in there.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's with the different colored names?
That's what I'm wanting to know.
What do you mean?
In chat.
Dana B is a member.
Green. But you see, I thought me and Prepping would be members too, but our names is black.
We're mods.
Yeah, you're a mod.
So all mods, their names are black.
Blue.
Jeff, you're looking in StreamYard. It's different chat than
You got to look at YouTube chat, Jeff.
yeah.
Okay.
Is if you look right now, everybody's is black except for members in StreamYard.
No. Oh, in StreamYard, yeah.
Yeah.
But in YouTube, they're all different colors. Like Ginger's is pink, Magic is turquoise. I mean, Dana B is green.
That's all I'm seeing is green, black, and blue.
Yeah, I don't see no pink and
No,
other
I'm
colors.
seeing a whole bunch of different colors. And
Is it on your phone?
no, it's
okay.
It's on I'm on my PC.
Okay, I don't know.
My damn.
See, on my
computer's
PC,
frozen now.
on my PC, it's just black and green. That's it.
Come on, stupid ass computer! It's frozen.
Wow, starting already.
Yeah. Like,
I can
I'm
see
trying
that.
trying to switch tabs here, and it's not working. Like I'm.
Yeah, there's that
Holy fuck.
the YouTube Premium, I think they can actually change their colors.
Well, now,
Oh,
you know how somebody would say at and the name hat would come up red? On my phone, it's coming up black.
well, I see a combination of a whole bunch of shit. So
Yeah.
Hell, well, you colorblind, ain't you?
no,
I thought you said you were colorblind at one time.
no.
Starfleet Command. Oh no.
Damn.
Sure would love to know why everything's lagging up a storm tonight.
Yeah. Might be internet issues. I don't know. I haven't been following too much about the solar flares and stuff. And hey,
I
that's
haven't. I
a
haven't
whole
been
other
following.
thing with the EM. And it could just come from space and wipe everything out.
Well, at that point, we can't do anything.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. They said it would take multiple years
At least
for
10.
major areas.
If everything goes smoothly, at least 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah, and it wouldn't be nationwide like the whole United States would be back to normal. It's just like one place in a state would have power and running water and this stuff. Everywhere else would be like the outlands or whatever you want to call it.
Well, now, that right there brings up another question. Let's say your bunker, Bushcraft, let's say it's got mechanical locks on it. You get in it before an EMP hits. Does that also shut down
Well,
you? Now, look,
I would
read.
be smart enough to
Please
have
don't
another
give me-
way out. That's the thing. Any room you go to, and it's even a law most places when you're building a house, you have to have more than one door. You have to have two ways out of everywhere, and that's mainly common sense nowadays. I would hope. And for me, if it was that type of lock, I would have a way to disable it, be it a blowtorch or a big ass hammer.
Well, see, I'd hate to see you get locked in your bunker because that's a nice looking bunker right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, 90% of the people in chat knows about his bunker.
yeah.
It's just new people that don't really understand his bunker.
That's my bunker.
Damn, you ruined it.
Anyway,
I wish it was real.
A bunker like that would probably cost a person about $3 million.
try 500,000.
Really?
Well,
Maybe $1 million if you got some.
that little thing right there would be one of the most expensive, probably. The air filtration thingy.
Okay.
And then you would have your water. Well, I don't know why we're getting in this conversation. It's not a real bunker.
Well, let's jump back up.
I just
on
laughed
this.
like Scooby Doo.
Okay, what life just showed back in. Well, let's bring something up that you touched on. You was talking about water back then, everything. If people live out in the country has wells, if you can
Whales?
wells,
Whales.
water wells, look,
Or
asshole, you wait till Thursday night. You better figure out a way to reach down in there and pull that water up.
Yep.
And depending on how deep your well is, shut up 101. It's going to depend on how tired you're going to be the time it gets all the way up.
Yeah. Imagine you have an 200 feet of water hose. How much pressure would it take to suck
Don't go there.
200 feet of water? Because it has to come from the bottom of it. It has to fill that whole water hose
Well, just go to your local
before
gay bar
you
and
can get it out.
You'll find a good way.
That is a lot of pressure.
Well,
Unless
thing,
that what they say is you can suck a.
don't
through a
go
garden
there.
hose.
I was going to say a bowling ball through a water hose. Then you're going
Made
to
a
need
rope
something
water.
other than pressure to do it.
Like I said, just
Whoa.
go to your local gay bar. You'll have problems solved.
Because there are people
But,
that have hard time getting gas out of a vehicle with
Ain't
a
got no
6-foot
cash in
hose.
it.
and the plug is fouled out too. But do it like they do back in the Western days, put a rope on the end of a crank and crank it up instead of doing it by hand. Pulling it out by hand.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, that wells aren't done the way they used to be. Used to be they were a big size hole, and you pulled it up, a bucket up, or you cranked it up.
The only thing I can say is go get you a 6-inch PVC pipe, put a cap on it, and start drawing water out of it.
Yeah, even that old fashioned hand crank.
Yeah.
Do people know how those work? I mean,
Hell, I got 2 of them and don't know how the damn thing works.
I
What, the
know how
pumps?
to, huh?
The well pumps?
Yeah,
Not the well
the old crank one.
Yeah, they got a leather flap inside of it that when it's drawn up, it acts like a vacuum and it pulls the water up. Then
Yeah,
when
but
the
how-
lever goes down, the leather flap closes.
yeah, but there's a thing you have to do before that will work. You just
You
can't
gotta
crank
prime
on
it.
it and
You
water
gotta
comes
prime
up.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to soak it.
Yeah,
Because when the leather dries up,
it cracks.
it doesn't have a seal anymore. So you have to soak it to get the
And God forbid if it freezes.
yeah.
Well, now the 2 I have
That's why
is
they have
not
well
like
houses.
the one that y'all are talking about. You just pull the handle up and the water comes out.
Oh, that's you have to have a pump behind those. I'm talking about the old fashioned ones where
Like you see in the
it
Western
has the
movie.
little cup at the top where you prime it and stuff, and you just crank it and crank it.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hell, I ain't never touched one.
No, I've
That's what she said.
I've used them.
Oh no, that ain't what she said.
And that's the thing. Like if it's a brand new well in your, because I've actually
Dug them.
done a hand one to where you go down like 50 feet. You take that pump and you put it in a 5-gallon bucket and you fill it with water and you let it set in there for a few hours so that leather ring in there gets hydrated to where it fills out, and then you screw it up on top of your pipe, and then prime it, pour water in it. You got to keep doing that until all that water gets up to the top. And you have to have that water.
Excuse
You
me
have to
while I
have
get into my
enough
trans-
water for that 50 feet in that pipe.
101.
Yes.
What is 6.9?
What do you mean?
What is 6.9?
1/10 before 7?
No. Another thing ruined by a period.
That's a good one.
Yeah, most people have them as decorations now. The old antique ones.
Yeah. Well, now let's say they got them for decorations. Okay. Can't you take a piece of rubber and make it operational again?
If you have the tools, and see, that's the thing. You have to have the water in there. You have to fill that pipe with water and able to use it. So if
Now,
and that's what I hate about these movies, that there'll be somebody, there's this old farmhouse been sitting there for years and years, and then somebody comes up and they'll start cranking on this thing, and oh, here comes water spouting out of it. It doesn't work that way, unless it's been used in the last whatever period of time.
Now, Frank Meadows puts in chat, hand pumps can only pull water from a shallow well.
Yeah.
It's got to be 25 feet. And then anything beyond that, you need a pump, like an actual electric pump.
Well, no, the thing is, it can pull, but you have to have that initial water in there.
Well, yeah.
Because they have hand pumps that go 100 feet.
Damn.
Because I have a Bush Radical. I don't know if anybody knows him, but they do a lot of those wells themselves, where they hand drill them. It's not really drilling; you just pounding a pipe in the ground.
Now, it's something like that. Don't you also have to let the water set for so long before? No, wait a minute. I'm getting it wrong here. You've got to pump the water out to get all the muddy water out first before it gets.
You once you pump it and it starts coming out, it'll continue to come out. It's not like every pump, because you'll pump it, you keep pumping it, and then it'll spew out until the pressure goes down, and you pump it up again.
Okay.
I don't have a well here, so it's city water, unfortunately.
Well, ain't nobody gonna tell on you if you do
like,
what you
like I said, Bush Radical and his wife, I think it's Girl in the Woods, I can't remember. They were on the show Alone, and they got pretty big on YouTube. And they both have their each of their own channels, but they every once in a while, because they're married, but they'll go into a property somewhere and build a cabin or something, and do their own wells and stuff like that.
I've seen them, but it's been a good while since I've seen them.
Yeah. And there are some good channels out there to watch. And I've known people that's tried this and not knowing how it actually works. They'll go out there and bang one out. And the thing is, when they do this, cat, stop. Because I think the pipes are like 10 feet tall, 10 feet long. And the first one has a bit in there to that filters filters out the it's got a screen and everything. It's got a point on the bottom of it.
Okay.
And you pound these pipes in, and every time you go to put another uh, pipe
Section.
on, you actually have to tighten those down because the pounding will loosen those pipes. So every time you go down, you have to tighten the next pipe. And if one of those pipes has a leak in it, it won't suck water up to the top.
How much do you think all the stuff would cost a person to get one up and going? That's including the pump, the pipe, and the thing to knock the pipe in the ground with.
50 feet would probably cost. I think the pipes are like 120 for 10 feet.
Damn.
You're looking at about $1,500 to $2,000.
Probably around there. I mean,
$1,500 to $2,000.
the pump itself nowadays probably at least $400 or $500.
Well, the thing is, the amount of money you are saving by having a natural, hand pump well is astronomical if you really think about it.
Oh yeah. Right now there it's like $5,000 to $10,000 to have a well drilled, and that's
That's if
just
you live in an area even where you are allowed to do that.
that's just to have it drilled and the pipe is at the top. That's not putting the pump down and the pipe going down for and the wires and all that stuff.
Well,
That's just
now,
to have it drilled. Because I've
do
been
you,
watching homesteaders that off gridders that, and it's so expensive now, and there's like a year waiting time for that.
damn. Well, now I know the well behind the house out here. It's about 5 foot below the ground level. Okay, and somebody hand dug that well because I could jump in that well myself,
Oh yeah,
you know. But the other one, the one out in the field, is probably, oh hell, 3 inches diameter. You know, with the pipe going down there. I don't have an inline pump on it. I got an above ground pump, but still,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. My grandpa used to build them. He would go down and dig them out and build them, cement and have stone in it and everything.
Yeah.
Um, and that, that was early 1900s and stuff that he would do that.
Hmm.
Now, the thing with, doing a well in that, where do you even go to get parts for that anymore? Like if you didn't have the internet to order it, is what I'm saying. Like, you,
Old.
maybe a Tractor Supply, but
Yeah,
that's a rarity, man.
those places get
A
taken out
mom
pretty
and
quickly.
Because
yeah.
those leather flaps wear out after some time.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
and,
say
that,
a
and
mom
that's
and pop hardware store.
the thing.
Nowadays, Jeff.
Well, down
We have to
here.
be an old hardware.
Yeah. No, I mean, they are far and few in between, but we still got them down here.
Yeah,
You know.
I know one in this that's probably within 100 miles,
See.
probably 200 miles is the only one that I know of. And
Now we've got
the
two
people
around
who
here.
are working in there, when they pass, I don't know that their kids would take it over and know where everything is in that place.
Oh
Because
God.
you ask them where a certain bolt or something is. Oh yeah, I know where that, and then they'll go down and it's on a top shelf over here, and they'll pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
With
But I
20
don't know if,
years worth of dust on it.
yep, I don't know that like their youngins would take it over. They'd probably just sell it and take the money and run.
That's what's wrong with our society today.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but it is.
Yeah, you don't see those hardly anymore now.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you go in there and you see something that some weird contraption that you don't know, and you ask them about it, and oh, this is what we used to use for that, and then you uh
Well, now there
like
is one
like those old rug beaters.
like a tennis racket.
Well, it was a bit bigger and it had big
Yeah.
old metal things on there. You like, what the heck is that for? And, oh, that's what we used to beat our rugs. What are you beating your rugs for? Well, we didn't have vacuum cleaners back in the day. You,
How many grandmamas do you know that swept a wooden floor?
That what?
or you mean a dirt floor?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A
that's
dirt
that's
floor.
that's more of just raking it to even it out.
Well, would you believe after you sweep it long enough, you can walk across it barefooted?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it goes hard because it's so compact.
Uh-huh. But you tell a youngin that now today, who would even think about sweeping a dirt floor? Hey, back in the day, that's all they had.
Well,
Yeah.
again, it would be
I
so
s
compacted that it would actually get a shine to it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh
see, I
yeah.
remember my grandmother taking a broom outside and sweeping the walkway.
Well,
You
yeah.
know, leaves start falling, she'd sweep it 2 or 3 times a day. Nowadays, they concrete it and use a leaf blower.
That's what I do.
It's easier, I'll admit to you.
Well,
But
how many people's been in a sod house?
now explain that one.
A sod roofed one?
The whole thing was made out of that.
Okay.
No, I've been in one that had a sod roof to it.
Yeah, but they do the walls and everything like that. Um, this has been a while since I've been in one, but the oldest thing that I've actually lived in, like I said, was a shanty. It oh, you basically is not quite a cabin, um, more modern than a cabin, I would say, because it had square post and everything. It was made the same way though, but that would probably be the oldest place that I've lived in was a shanty, and that was my grandpa's.
Now,
No running water, no electricity.
now
That was off grid. What they call off grid
I've been
now.
in 100-plus-year-old houses down in Grosse Pointe, Detroit,
Oh,
where
this house is over 100
they
years
didn't
old.
have electricity.
Yeah,
I'm living in a house right now that's over 120 years old.
yeah.
And the walls, even the inside walls, is a hell of a lot thicker than ones that was made 30, 40 years ago.
Well,
You know,
this house is so old that um, some walls that I go through, I actually pull out old cast iron piping. And it wasn't for plumbing; it was for lighting. They
hmm.
had gas fittings gas lighting that went through the house. They didn't have electricity.
Now I've seen houses like that, but I've
Yeah.
never lived in one like that. You know.
Yeah, every once in a while you go some old houses, you'll see a little kind of looks like a little spigot on there, and there's a little nozzle, and they used to have a like oil lanterns would go on top of it, and they turn it on and light it.
Could you imagine the danger of one of them nowadays if you tried to use it?
Oh yeah,
Your whole house would probably explode.
yeah. There's a section in my basement that is dirt,
Okay.
and I've often thought about trying to dig it up, but it's solid.
I've been kind of lucky. My
Yeah.
parents, you know, we never lived in houses like that.
Yeah, that's what I get a kick out of. You'll see these homesteaders and stuff that they'll off grid cabin or off grid this, um, but they're not off grid. They're recording it and stuff like that, and they have generators. A generator is not off grid. You're
Back
still
then,
going to a gas station, filling up tanks, bringing it back to your place, and filling up your generator. To me, off grid is you're out there living and you don't have no resources from the outside. You're you're living off your land. You're raising your animals and stuff. You're raising feed for your animals. That there is off grid, where you don't have to go to the store to purchase stuff.
well, now back in the day when the sun went down, you either went by kerosene lantern or your ass went to bed until the sun
Mhm.
come up. That's it. No power, no nothing.
Yeah.
And back then, that's when reading the Bible. Everybody read the Bible back then. You know, by
Because
oil
half
lamp.
the time that's all they had.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a good story. There was good stories in there.
Yeah, there
The only
was.
reason they could read that is because they went to mass damn near every day and they followed along and learned what it actually said.
Well, in a community, everybody went to church. Everybody knew everybody. It ain't
Well,
like it is today.
well, look at Little House on the Prairie. When Sunday came around, people would come out from their farms and stuff in their
Yeah,
buggies. You'd see everybody going to the church where the school was,
yeah.
because through the week it was the school. Sunday it was the church.
Well, now, back then, a school teacher could not be married. She could not be in a relation. If she was, she got kicked out of being a teacher back then. Damn, they was hard on teachers back then, wasn't it?
Now you sit there and think of nowadays, um, and
And
like for 101 up there, how long do you think it would be to where everything would calm down? Say after an EMP, because like
What,
I
up
said,
here in Detroit?
I don't
yeah.
think it ever would
I,
calm
I
down.
was just about to say, I'm like, that's
Well, I mean the panic and the looting.
No, it's going to be gang violence. It's going to be shootings every 5 seconds here.
Yeah.
It's already shootings every night here anyway. So fuck.
Yeah, and you sit there and think about just the sheer fact of how many people are in there, how long it would take to actually.
Well, let me put it this way: if an EMP goes off, most likely I'm close to home.
Oh yeah,
In my day-to-day life. So, for one, I'm getting home, and I'm either one locking this bitch down, or two, I'm getting out of here.
yeah,
Well, you got what, 24 to 48 hours to get to where you going
Well, the
before?
thing is, I would probably go to my cousins because one, they're more heavily armed than I am, believe it or not. I'd go collect them, and then we'd all decide from there as to what to do. Problem is, where they're at is going deep into, I wouldn't say gang territory, but not a nice area.
yeah.
Well,
That's
now, common sense would tell me that's the last place you'd want to be at.
When they're the only family that's nearby, it's kind of what you got to do.
I would want to see if they would come to where I'm at.
Well, if I had to take a guess, they'd probably make their way here. Because we've got a hell of a lot more resources here than they do there.
Well, now,
I'm talking space for things. I'm talking land. We have a bigger yard.
yeah,
Um,
but that would
we
be
have
what
extra
y'all,
rooms here.
well, see, that's what y'all would want to have a meeting, because the last thing you'd want to do is if an EMP hit, you go there and then they come to your place.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you switch places.
Yeah.
I wonder where they went.
Most likely, I'd say 99% of the time, I would lock this bitch down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying because
Until you couldn't.
I can't divulge as to what's keeping me here, but let's just say,
Safety.
well,
Yeah.
not only the safety factor, but the like I said, I can't divulge it on here. But some things are hard to move. Let's just say that way. Okay. And some people are hard to move. Okay.
Okay.
So, it's best to lock down and hold tight.
Well, that was a really interesting thing that Bot just said.
What's that?
I don't know what this is about, but
Come on, computer.
well, the Lisa did advice in it. That's its advice, I guess.
Give a shit. Don't be a pecker, and know when to let go.
Okay.
No.
I mean, that's sound advice.
Yeah, but with that right there, you can take it out of content in so many ways.
Yeah.
Well, don't we do that with everything?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of the preppers say, well, if shit hits a fan, I get my bug out bag and I'm going.
Well,
Where
not
are you going?
necessar- Right.
There is one thing I would like to do. I would like to take a sidearm, for protection, a hatchet and a knife and a tarp out in the woods with me for about a week, just to see if I can survive like that. Now, I've took tents, I've took tarps, I've took matches and everything else with me, and I've survived like that. I've took water, but just to go out there with them things right there, I wonder how many people can really do that.
I've done
Do
it.
what? Dig a well?
No,
No,
no.
survive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ha!
Go out
Ha!
there.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Go out there with a hatchet, a knife, and a tarp. That's it.
Yeah.
I could probably make it a couple nights, but
See?
after that, I don't know. At that point, it's gonna be willpower, you know. But
And
then again,
that's
I'm dealing with city shit. Okay, my primary function is city. Okay, I'm already gonna have shelter. I'm gonna have shit to burn. I'm gonna have a lot of things to scavenge for, and so forth and so on. My
yeah.
biggest thing is not getting killed.
Okay, but what happens if your house is
Overran.
no just for some reason an EMP hits and blows up the transformer. Transformer falls to over on your house, and your house is up in smoke.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I just take the neighbor's house at that point.
He's on the porch in the bench out
Because
there.
I guarantee you, there's going to be people that leave their
Oh
houses
yeah,
abandoned.
let's
So
go to
like,
the
oh
government
well,
shelter.
Oh, fuck.
no, it's like okay, if my house burned down, I'll be like, oh well, so and so down the street left, a day ago. Well, they ain't gonna need their shit anymore, so might as well take what I can and move it over there. You know.
Well, my biggest fear is this right here. Let's say you go and buy a place that's got a basement inside. There is not but one way in and one way out. If you go to the basement, the chances are you screwed.
I have 3 ways out of my basement.
See, a lot of people don't think like we do.
I don't have. I have one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
case in point.
technically, maybe two if I were to. Two
Right.
if I were to make one.
You better start digging.
Well, okay, so the room that I sit in and do my streams in, that y'all seen it. It was an addition on the house. Well, the cinder block has been taken out of the basement, so theoretically, I could cut the ventilation for the furnace out, crawl out the crawl space if I really had to.
Oh, go ahead.
So that was it.
I was told, I cannot say who told me, but it's coming from the inside. Power stations is doing some drastic changing. People can see that. I was told that something is
Okay.
coming.
I'll be back.
Do 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 do.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Well, how can we fuck this up? Well, he's gone.
His stream ain't as easy to fuck up as yours is.
Hey,
Oh, Lordy. Oh, we can do it if we wanted to. See, now he's sitting back in his chair listening to us like you listen to us.
I don't listen to y'all like as frequently as you think. I just sometimes I'll hang back a couple seconds and be like, I knew it. I knew they were gonna say something.
Yeah. Well, Al Bundy wants me to yodel. I don't yodel no more.
Yodelay hee hoo. However the fuck that goes.
Odie, odie, dee
Uh,
Well, how did your day go at work today? That good, huh?
Okay. let me just say this. I'm done with the games,
Oh hell.
so I'll leave it at that. You can fill in the blanks.
I kind of figured what's going on when you said that. Out of curiosity, you haven't talked about it in a while. Your work, is there a lot of stuff going out or has it slowed down
It's
right much?
definitely slowed down compared to what it is.
A lot of wind.
Really? What was it knocking on your door?
Yeah,
But you have to throw another log on the fire.
well, I don't have a place to put a log on a fire in here.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I wish I did.
I was told, like I said, it's from a kind of like an inside source that the power companies are upgrading a whole bunch of stuff. I wasn't told exactly what was being upgraded. And the new areas, subdivisions that are going in, they're having problems getting stuff for that subdivisions. Okay. They're having to rig around it until they get the parts that they need, transformers and stuff like that. But at the same time, there is warehouses that has got buku transformers in there. Don't say no. Oh,
The botanist advice.
damn.
Turn jeans inside out when washing them to help prevent their color.
No, that's to get the shit out of them better. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I have no power in what he gives advice about. It's a third party thing, so I don't know half the stuff he comes up with.
So my pooch is damn near trying to jump up in my lap. But if stock up, okay, something's coming. It's not being said what's coming, but biggest part of the wiring is going underground.
Well,
I'll put it
the
like
thing, the thing I would say, the major thing that would happen nowadays is like the video I put out earlier was the collapse of the money, because they're really pushing. They want that Fed coin thing. They want to get rid of the paper money, of the currency we have now.
You
That
realize
or an EMP would be my two things that would happen.
you
this
really
year.
can't get rid of cash because we'll find other shit to trade.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Lori Lightfoot.
Oh fuck.
Ain't she your mayor up there, 101, or governor or something like that?
No, that's Whitmer.
Okay, Lori Lightfoot made a statement, and
Lightfoot is Chicago.
okay,
Mayor.
okay. She wants around your vending trucks and everything. The main reason people are being robbed is because they got cash on them. She wants them to do away with the cash. And the question was, if they do away with the cash, how in the hell are they going to pay for shit? You know, because a robber would come up and take your EBT card or your rings or whatever. You'll have to get up online and pull that up. But that's exactly what it is to deter the robbers from robbing you. That's what it is.
Yeah, how many kids get robbed for their shoes? Gonna go around barefooted now?
Around here,
Yeah, I
Look, as
know.
big as her forehead is, she ought to have a good sized brain up in there. Oh, damn. I shouldn't have said that. But it's true. Her, AOC, and there is quite a few more ought to have their own gang called the Stupid Gang.
Just so everybody knows, it's still here. Tomorrow, I have a special guest. Let's see if I can bring up the link.
Also, I'm gonna bail because I got to do my shit now.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get ready for
So-
it.
I'll see you guys here in a minute.
I'm going to be a little bit late coming up.
That's fine.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Out.
Yeah, tomorrow I've got a special guest, Defender of the Republic. She got real famous real quick for something that she brought out about our United States merging with Mexico and Canada to make one, whatever they're wanting to call it. And really good. She has a lot of really good information. She's going to be here tomorrow at 7:00. So make sure everybody comes by and checks that out because it's going to be a really good stream. And then we got Thursday with
Me.
this guy over here.
And I'm going to try to make it there. You know, I'll watch it while he's talking, you know.
And everybody who wants to continue this will probably head over to 101's. I'm not sure what he's got in stored for us tonight. I was going to ask him, but got sidetracked, which is normal.
On his thumbnail, it's got just wing it.
Oh, so it's one of those nights. We don't know what to expect.
So, in other words, it's going to go to hell in the handbag before it's over with.
Yeah, but I really think the conversations like this is important. That way we can think of a lot of this that's could happen, and that's what's being prepared is all about. I want to thank everybody for hanging out, and if I see you over at 101's, if not, I'll go ahead and leave you with this if I can find it. Here we go.
Out.